Hey friends, it's Cam, the Communication Cup. Today we're joining our friend at the mall. I can't wait to see what adventures we're gonna get up to.
Oh man, I wonder when my friends are gonna get here. It sure would be nice to go through this mall together. Oh man, I'm in such a bad mood today. Whoa. You need to get out of the way.
Wasn't it crazy how mean that person was? Aw man, that's a major mistake. I hope that they can apologize to the person they bumped into. First I failed math test at school, and now this? Oh man, my bad day just keeps getting worse and worse. It really isn't that guy's fault though. I wonder if I should apologize. Oh man, he looks like he had a really hard day. I'm gonna go ahead and say maybe we should apologize first. Maybe that would change his mood enough to get him to be able to apologize. Because I bet that there's something else going on, and that's the reason why he's clenching his fist like that.
Whoa man, I'm sorry. I was just looking for my friend. I didn't see you there. Are you alright? That was completely my bad. I honestly hope you're okay. It was really cool of you to apologize, and since you apologized, let me also apologize. I know that it was at least partially both of our faults that we bumped into each other and we weren't looking where we were going, but you did not deserve to be snapped at like that. I'm really sorry. I've had a long day and it doesn't excuse it, but you have to understand that you were the first person I felt like I could take out some of my frustration on after we bumped into each other, and I just sort of reacted on instinct. You don't deserve that, and honestly, I am really sorry that I snapped at you. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Oh, absolutely. I hope that you have a great day and that after this your day gets better. I will definitely be sure to keep my eyes glued to what's in front of me instead of on the ground or up in the air, you know? I'll see you around, and I hope that you don't have to bump into anyone else like this. Seriously, I hope your day gets better. I know what it's like to have bad days. I've been there. Don't worry. Go have some fun. Go relax. Things will get better.
Can you believe that? Just moments before that, that guy was looking so mean and so angry. But then just getting an apology seemed to make him so much nicer. He even apologized back. That's amazing. Apologizing can be hard, but when it's done right, it can really make someone's day. It can turn their whole mood around. So that's why it's important that people who make mistakes not only apologize, but even know how to apologize well. Because not all apologies are the same, and not all apologies are good apologies. There are some people who are going to wonder why it is that some people need help apologizing or coming up with better apologies. But honestly, apologizing is not something that comes naturally to people, and it's not an easy thing to do. Oftentimes, when people are asked to apologize, they're going to be frustrated that they're being asked to apologize. And when you're frustrated, it's hard to do something as well as you could naturally. What I want to do today is I want to help you know what you need to have a good apology, and I also want you to realize that it's okay to need help with some of these things. It's okay to not be sure that your apology is a good apology. Even if people find it weird, there are a lot of people who have difficulty communicating. I know that I had difficulty communicating when I was a younger, smaller cup.
Alright, Cam, now that it's been a few days since that happened, I wanted to know, what do you think makes an apology good? And can we maybe think of a few cases where an apology isn't very good?
Given the difficulty of apologizing, especially when someone is frustrated, I think that that's a very good question. Something that I think is important in an apology is an admission of wrongdoing. Some apologies focus on the feelings of the people who were offended or who were hurt or were otherwise negatively affected by the thing that they're asking for an apology for. And if an apology focuses on those feelings rather than the thing that was done in the first place, that definitely hurts the apology's effectiveness.
Wait, Cam, are you telling me that some people ask for an apology? I think that might have an effect on perceptions of apologies. What do you think?
You know, Luciano, you're absolutely right. That does have an effect on perceptions of apologies. But at the end of the day, apologizing is still a mature and careful and difficult thing for people to do, and we shouldn't forget about that just because some people are asking for apologies or just because people want to hear apologies. Apologizing is a nice and genuine thing to do that shows maturity, and it's not something that should be devalued just because some people want to see someone apologize for something, especially if the thing that they did or the thing that they said was something that actually did have a negative effect on someone's feelings. When someone says or does something negative or harmful, it's okay to want those people to apologize. It's okay to want them to be mature enough to take ownership over the thing that they said and admit that what they said might have a negative effect on someone. And it's also okay for people to ask for that to be the case. Just because someone's asking for an apology doesn't mean that any apology issued would be less authentic, and we need to stop pretending that that's the case.
You know, Cam, I think I understand what you're saying, but can you maybe help me out by providing me with an example of when this might be something helpful or appropriate?
I actually can, Luciano, because we both know that you struggle with math, and that you struggled with math even more when you were a child. Let's say back when you were in school, you took a math test and you got a really good score on it. Not quite a perfect score, but definitely close to it, and someone who you once called a friend accused you of cheating. Let's say that you didn't actually cheat, and after people investigated the claim that you were accused of cheating, they found that you didn't cheat. Would you be right to ask your friend for an apology? And if your friend actually apologized for making that mistake, wouldn't that make you feel better, even if you asked for it?
You know, Cam, you're absolutely right. It would make me feel better if they apologized, not really for hurting my feelings or anything, but for making a statement that hurt my reputation and that caused people to momentarily wonder if I was the person in the wrong and I did something unfair. So, just to be clear about things, you're saying that this sort of apology. Whoa, man, I'm so sorry I offended you. I can't believe that hurt your feelings. Is worse than this one? Look, Luciano, I'm super sorry that I accused you of cheating. I can't believe that I made an accusation like that publicly instead of going and asking you privately first, but I know that you struggle with math, and it was just so hard for me to believe that you were able to get such a good score on your own after looking at your past test scores and knowing you as well as I know you. So I thought that the best thing to do would be to call you out publicly, but now that it's obvious that my accusation was incorrect, and that it had a negative effect on your day and on the days of our teachers and other people who trusted you, who for a moment lost faith in you, it's really clear that that is just the wrong thing to do, and I really shouldn't have done that. I'm super sorry that I made that sort of accusation publicly and that I didn't try to talk to you privately about it first, so that way your reputation wouldn't be hurt. I know that I could try and say that I'm sorry I offended your feelings, but that's just not true. I'm sorry that I hurt you and that what I did negatively affected our relationship, but I'm also super sorry that I made a statement about you that was just not true.
That's exactly it, Luciano. You understand automatically and sort of intuitively that it's better to apologize for making an incorrect statement or doing something bad as opposed to apologizing that someone's feelings got hurt. Because apologizing that someone's feelings got hurt isn't really accurate. That's not really the thing that they did that was wrong. It's the action itself that caused the hurt feelings that needs to be apologized for, not the hurt feelings. That second apology was fantastic. It contained an admission of wrongdoing, and it didn't try to minimize or downplay the circumstances that led to it. It even talked about how that person's actions affected other people's perceptions of you. That is just such a good apology, and I think that more people should try to learn from that sort of thorough and worthwhile apology, that not all apologies are made equal.
Yeah, Cam, now that I put the two apologies side by side and I listen to them one after the other, I can definitely understand why it is that not only is apologizing important, but apologizing well is probably almost as important. I am so happy that we're having this conversation, but are there any other sorts of tips that you would suggest for people who need help with apologies?
Sure, I definitely think that it's important when people apologize, at the very least under some circumstances, it would be appropriate and smart for them to talk about actions that they're going to take to demonstrate their sincerity. For instance, if someone is apologizing for something that's been occurring for a while, the apology might not be immediately accepted, but if they talk about actions that they're going to take in addition to just apologizing, that might help convince people over time that their apology is sincere and that they are deserving of forgiveness. Let's say, for instance, that you have been bullied for several years now by someone who has consistently bullied you, and then at various points they'll stop and they'll ask for forgiveness, but then they'll continue bullying you shortly after, maybe a couple of weeks or even a couple of days later. Would you believe them if they apologized to you and said that they were being super serious this time?
You know, Cam, I don't think I would believe them, and honestly, I would be tempted to not even accept their apology. But is that even okay? Is that a thing I can do?
You know, that's a very real question, and I want to say, before anything else, it is absolutely okay to not forgive someone. It is perfectly fine, even if someone has a good apology, even if they are perfectly sincere and they're obviously meaning what they're saying, it's okay to not forgive someone who's hurt you or who's done something negative to you. And I think that not enough people hear that or realize that. It's okay for you to value yourself, and it's okay for you to believe that you deserve to say no to their apology. But if someone is making an apology that they really care about, something that they can do to make it clear that they are being sincere and serious is talk about the actions they're going to do to prove that they're being sincere, and actually go through and do those things. Even if that's something that might not be something they could do immediately, it's still good for them to do that.
Thank you, Cam. I really needed to hear that, and frankly, there are probably a lot of people out there who also really needed to hear it. I'm sure there are people who are going to be able to appreciate hearing something like that. So, that said, does that mean that you think that this apology... Look, Josh, I know that I have bullied you for the last 2 years, and I'm really sorry that I've bullied you. To make that clear, and this is important because I know that you're not going to be able to trust me because I've apologized to you in the past and then gone right back to bullying you without any real actions or doing anything that tries to make things better. So I hope you'll hear me out when I say this. To make things better between us, I am going to be giving you back all of the things I've taken from you. And also, I will leave you alone at school for a couple of days so that way you can think about whether or not you'd like to be my friend. Because I really would like for us to be friends, but I understand that you don't trust me. Frankly, I don't deserve your trust, and I just want to make things better. So I do hope that you'll accept this apology in time. Is better than this one? Hey Luciano, I'm super sorry for bullying you. That definitely won't happen again. And you know what? You better accept this apology because it's sincere and it's coming from my heart.
Oh, absolutely. Even though that second apology wasn't apologizing about hurting someone's feelings and was in fact apologizing about negative actions, it also placed responsibility on the person who was being apologized to, and that is not something that apologies should do. I know that we've talked a lot about apologies, but now that we've reached so far and we've had such a long conversation, I think it's time to let us take some moments to think about what we learned today. I hope that everyone who has been going on this adventure with us has learned more about apologies and will be able to think more critically and more carefully about how to give good ones in the future, and also think about what sort of communication skills they are lacking in and could need extra assistance with. Communicating is hard, and it's okay to realize that these things are skills that need time and energy to be put into them in order for them to improve. What I want to do is I want to help people have better conversations about communicating and understanding that communicating is difficult. What I'm here for is to help people become better communicators in a judgment-free zone where we look at examples of people communicating and we think about them carefully and critically. I hope that everyone who watches this has an absolutely wonderful day and joins us in next week's video where we're going to be talking about a different aspect of communicating. Until then, I will see you all around.
Hey, logical listeners, thank you so much for going on this wild journey with me, because I understand that that video will probably shock a lot of people. I uploaded another Cam the Communication Cup video on my secondary channel that introduced the character and introduced the concept, but that video didn't get a whole lot of views, and I really like the idea, and I think it deserves views. I think it deserves feedback, so I am going to be putting up these videos up on my main channel, and I hope that people will give me their responses, they'll give me their reactions, they'll let me know if this video helped them think more critically about apologies and about apologizing, and I would definitely love to know responses and reactions from parents and from their children, because Cam the Communication Cup is intended to be a child-oriented, family-friendly series that works with children and encourages them to think more critically about different aspects of communication. For those of you who don't know, I am a graduate student studying peace and conflict studies, and a lot of what I do specifically is communication-oriented. I think communicating is one of the most important sets of social skills that people don't often realize are skills that can be improved upon and skills that need time and energy invested in them in order for people to get better at them. So I'm hoping that by creating Cam the Communication Cup and by going forward with this series, I can create content that is engaging, content that's fun, and content that gets people thinking in judgment-free ways about how they communicate and about how they could be communicating. I think that this is an important thing. It definitely challenges me and encourages me to be more creative in my video making, and honestly, I'm having a lot of fun with these videos. I have this one done. I already have another two that I'm quietly working on, as well as a couple of other videos that are not in this series but are in other series, including reaction and response videos and more video essay oriented conversations. So I'm really excited, and I can't wait to see what you all think, and also just to see what sort of a reception Cam gets in general. If you are a parent and your child watches this video, or if you are a child and you watch this video, I really would love to know what you think, because this is content that's oriented towards families, and a lot of my other content isn't. So this is definitely experimental for me. Feel free to let me know what you think, and let me know what I could do to improve. I know that this video was really rough, so I get that. I just hope that the next couple of ones I make and release in this series are better, and they each learn from each other, and they build upon the same sorts of topics and similar themes. Because honestly, I think that this is an idea with a lot of potential, and I'm hoping that other people will like it as well. Until the next time, I'll see you guys around, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day.